As a follow-up to the last video I did, I thought you guys would find this kind of interesting. Apparently, back in 2015, a Russian official called for an international investigation into whether America ever really landed on the moon. In an op-ed in a Russian newspaper, Vladimir Markin, spokesman for the government's official investigative committee, actually called for an international investigation to help solve the mystery of the disappearance of all of the official footage from the original moon landing in 1969, that curious disappearance. Because apparently they weren't too satisfied with what Washington Post describes as NASA's restored copies of the landing using recordings from other sources such as CBS News. Because as we know, not only did NASA say that all of the Apollo 11 telemetry data, all of the official, original, crystal clear recordings that we're told the engineers saw in the control booths, the ones that no one else got to see because of the degradation of the processing of the footage to live TV format, is gone forever, and their own reports say that no one will ever see it, ever. And not only are their astronauts saying that all the technology to get to the moon was destroyed, but people really have to start thinking about what actually passed for proof back in 1969 versus what would pass for proof today. A lot of people today do not understand how the Cold War was and how many things were permissible under that kind of declared yet undeclared war in the name of national security. All manner of things that they did, from unethical human experimentation to who knows what even today, because they won't declassify a lot of that documentation. So what passed for proof then versus what passes for proof now with all the technology that everyone has, it's pretty interesting. I mean, maybe the Russians saw clips of Aaron Rainin on Fox News talking about how the state of Ohio paid him to make a documentary proving America landed on the moon, which he went into it thinking, well, that should be totally easy to do, no problem.
My next guest, Aaron Rainin, started out believing the official version of history, which is what I and most people believe. Aaron, tell us why you have changed your mind and now become a skeptic.
Well, let me first clarify. I was paid by the state of Ohio in 1999 to spend a year trying to prove we actually landed on the moon. And I was a total believer.
Wait, you were paid with taxpayer money?
It's called Did We Go? And the challenges, Geraldo, everywhere I went, it was just amazing. Moon rocks falling in Antarctica, Neil Armstrong's silence. But I was the first to report, and you played the clip earlier tonight, that all the science data, the telemetry data was missing. Geraldo, this isn't just one tape. This is reams of tape labeled Apollo 11 moon landing. Someone had to physically go and erase it. And it just, I really, in my heart, Geraldo, I want us to go. And I know all your viewers want us to go.
Also joined in LA by Bill Nye, the science guy, doesn't it?
Turns out it wasn't. And maybe in retrospect they realized that NASA's space champion Wernher von Braun was also employed as a technical director at Disney Studios. He was good friends with Walt. Walt used to visit him over at Redstone Arsenal in Huntsville, Alabama. And admittedly, they made at least 3 films together. And maybe they started thinking about the fact that for decades, there was a top-secret military film unit housed in Laurel Canyon at Lookout Mountain Air Force Station, which wasn't, mind you, declassified until the 90s, which the military and other government agencies used as their own Hollywood film studio. Between 1947, when the National Security Act was passed, in 1969, where they housed a staff of 250 filmmakers that included civilians who had worked with top studios like Warner Brothers, MGM, and Universal. They had writers, cameramen, producers, directors, and animators, all of them with top secret clearances that were set to making movies for the military in this compound that included full sound stages, screening rooms, film processing rooms. They even had 17 temperature and climate controlled film vaults. It was basically like any other Hollywood studio. Except for the fact that in the 22 years the place was operational, they produced over 20,000 movies, which was more than all of Hollywood combined at the time. Or maybe the Russians just saw the Matthew McConaughey movie Interstellar.
He brought this in to show the other students the section on the lunar landings.
Yeah, it's one of my old textbooks.
It's an old federal textbook. We've replaced them with the corrected versions.
Corrected.
Explaining how the Apollo missions were fake to bankrupt the Soviet Union.
You don't believe we went to the moon?
I believe it was a brilliant piece of propaganda that the Soviets bankrupted themselves, pouring resources into rockets and other useless machines.
Useless machines.
And went, hey, that's not funny. Either way, I just thought it was kind of funny that Russia publicly called them on it. You know what everything is based on? It's based on the idea that everyone will readily accept the reality with which they're presented without questioning it. And I don't see why we shouldn't be allowed to question everything.